I'm gonna be transparent, but I just wanted to stay in this room. I'm going through some changes with my baby girl. And there's times where I just like, for real, want to choke her to sleep. For real. You know, teenagers are funny human beings. They swear they swear they know it all and live in the safety of your care. And they don't know what it is to go outside and live in the real world. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like for real. You step outside of this care, or you step outside of the safety that we provide for you, and you're gonna become a victim. You're gonna end up being free lunch for somebody. And so she started living with us in February, and it's now been over a year. And what I realized is that, bro, God worked out some things in terms of who Quest is. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, he pulled out the Brooklyn a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Because you can move out of Brooklyn, but sometimes it's only God can take the Brooklyn out of you sometimes. You feel me? And so sometimes they're like, oh, Elder Green. I'm like, listen, don't. My name is Quest. My name ain't no Elder Green. You feel me? I'm not gonna get caught up in the hype, and I ain't gonna let you get me caught up in the hype either. You know what I'm saying? Chief sinner. You know what I'm saying? I am a servant of God and friend to man, though. We'll do that, but there's some ways that if you catch me on the wrong, and I noticed that, like, for real, there's a lifestyle that her mom used to live, and there's a lifestyle that we live here. And I know that they're not necessarily the same kind of lifestyles. And here's the funny thing. I remember when we were going through kind of like this, she had gotten to 14, and I want to go live with Daddy. What she was trying to do is play us, you know what I'm saying? I didn't realize it back then.
Yes.
And I was like, you know, Tina, and Tina was like, no. And but she was fighting for it. And it got to the point where we ended up having to go to court, and the judge was like, no, let her stay with her mom for another year, whatever, we'll come back and revisit it. Okay, cool. One Thursday, I got a phone call. Are you objecting to her coming and living with you? No, never did. When can you come and get her? No judges, no lawyers, no court systems, none of that. God said, okay, I got you. Brought her here. And I'm like, oh, lovely. And I'm thinking it's gonna be all, we dealing with a teenager. And like, I know the girls and the guys are a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? The teenagers, the girls, they get moody.
A whole lot different. They're a little bit different. They're a whole.
Regina, I'm telling you that I'm killing the game. I'm getting up in the morning for worship. I'm praying. Me and Tim, we putting ministries together. I'm double tithing. I'm double tithing on my company, and I'm watching God open up windows and opportunities. And I'm like, yeah, God. And then she, like, for real, she started waking up and I was like, God, I thought that was dormant.
Yes,
she's like, oh, son, you only fooling you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You live in flamingo life, so you cool with everybody. But when that one situation that tests you in a way that you can't retreat from, because see, for me, when I don't want to deal with you, I'll just be like, you know what, I ain't got no time for that foolishness. And I love you from afar. Hey, how you doing? Though? That's right. I can't do that. You understand what I'm saying?
Good morning.
But yeah, God was like, okay, cool. And I realized that he's always working on something in our lives. Yes. So every day I got to pick up the cross. So this is just one of them things that I just can't run away from. It's my seed. And it was rising up in me. And what God was showing me was that, there's some things that you're doing in terms of worship. You think you got it together, right? But let you stay up night working on business. You're not going to get up the next morning. And you've been going an extended period of time, and I miss my time with you. Not for me, but I want reasons to bless you. And I gotta introduce adversity into your life, because if I don't, you'll develop a spirit of entitlement and think that we someplace that we're not.
Wow. Yes.
And something happens to your character in the process. And you allow little blessings in your life to take you to a place that your character can't keep you. She did something recently and it sent me through the roof. Oh, D. Smith, I'm talking about like for real. I did everything but turn the furniture over.
Yes, we,
I got 25 in the 20 videos.
yes.
I know.
I'm right there with you.
Right
Go
there.
through it.
We are winning.
No, y'all ain't.
No, I'm there.
If y'all was there, y'all'd be like,
We are there with you.
Elder Green? You know what I'm saying? Like, is that you? And my wife said to me, she was like, I haven't seen you like that in years. So I tripped, and I'm talking about I blacked out. It take a lot for me to get there, but when I get there, yeah, it's kind of, looking at it like it's dangerous. It's dangerous for me to have that kind of temperament, and God was like, I need to control that. Because like for real, if you did what Moses did now, yeah, you would be doing 25 to life, 5 to 7, whatever you want to call it. And so I can't respond to everything because I realize that everybody's not wired the same way that I am. I can't put expectations on my daughter to be a certain way, right? Or want it more for her than she wants it for herself. So check how God did me. So one of the things that I told the young lady that I was coaching, I said, do me a favor. There's a book by a woman called Stormy Omar, The Power of a Praying Wife.
Yep.
So I said, I'm going to get the book and I'm going to read it with you. Now, this is totally directed towards women as they deal with their husbands, but I'm reading the book and I'm internalizing everything. And God said, where's the grace that you're extending to this child? I put her in your care, right? And just to handle the lightweight, the heavyweight was never meant for you to lift. And when you get to a place where it's like, for real, my man said it to me, he said, Quest, God pushing you to your knees, bruh. Because I haven't, up until that point, I had yet to pray for it until it got to a point where I was just like, okay, God, you're going to have to handle it now because I feel it now. I feel it, and I feel anger in a way that I haven't felt anger in before because once I said we need respect, and I feel like I'm being disrespected right now. But he said, what is your intention though? Because sometimes what she's doing to you feels like a punishment and not a pruning. And the difference between the two is your intent. And so I had to switch up my intent. And now I'm looking at it now like, okay, God, I'm being pruned so that I can bear more fruit. And so you can use me in ways that you've never done before. What is your cross that you're facing today? It may be your spouse, it may be child, it might be finances, it might be the way that you're talking to one another. What is your cross? And how are you looking at it? Because if you've been doing stuff and it's not working, stop! It don't work!
Yeah.
And the one thing that we should do, we're not doing, and that is fall to our knees. God, I need you.
Amen.
And sometimes that is enough. I need you. Let me tell you, one night, yo, for real, y'all, I got so angry one night, and I know God was breaking me because I had to go into the closet and close the door, and I just sat on the floor for a minute, and I promise y'all, I cried like I ain't.
That's right.
That's right.
Okay. Got
Go to
to.
me, see me.
Got to.
Lord, you open it. Amen.
Got to. Got to.
And I knew it. I was like, God, I feel like a punk right now. I feel like a punk. This ain't me. God said, yes, it is you.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Rocking with me is you. Somebody know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Which question? You understand?
Oh, yeah.
I'm with you.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
That's
When you got that thing that only you and God know about, and you trying to let it go,
Have
it
mercy.
just keep riding you.
Yes.
Because I realize now I'm learning how to be a little bit more vulnerable as a man. Because I realize that the dictionary definition of man is susceptible to personal, physical, or emotional attack. And most men, that's what we carry. That's the shield we carry around, right? And so because we've been taught from day one, you don't whine, you man up. You handle your BI. You don't cry. You don't shed no tears. But I found out that when we do that, we're adapting. Because I found out that the true definition of vulnerability is to be able to show people who you naturally are and how you're naturally wired. And sometimes we rob our own selves of getting to see who we really are in certain circumstances because we've been raised a certain way. So we dealing with, yo, I can't, nah, God can't. Come on, you know where I'm from? I'm from the bush. Kings Highway, 91st and 92nd, 90s in the building, Flatbush in the building. That's how we came up. I can't let nobody, and God said, no, son. You got to decrease
Okay.
so I can increase. And when I increase, your boy Busta Rhymes said it, powerful impact, boom from the cannon. That's when your power is at its greatest.
Dunamis.
And so I'm saying to us tonight, what is your cross?